Hey folks, welcome back to the Impossible Lair. And today we're starting right away with Production Panic. I like this level a lot. It's probably one of my favorite levels in the game. It's not fun, I guess. I mean, it sort of is, but I don't know, it'll make sense in a second here.
Oh, this actually hurts visibility a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, you remember we were talking about all that, nice red color scheming?
What if instead you didn't have any of that?
So there's this insta-kill laser chasing us, huh?
Yeah, so basically the way this level works is that we start at the very end of the last of level 7 production path, and now we have to go backwards through the level while we're being chased by an instant kill laser.
Sounds like a fun time.
That's how I spend all my evenings.
Also, the soundtrack is really good.
Hell yeah. It's good guitar. Oh, that got close.
I'm not getting quite the same level of panic, though, as, Donkey Kong Country 2 and Run Rambi Run. But, I don't know, an entire level of that might be a little bit too much.
Well, let's go to Artist Rushing.
Yeah, fortunately, you can still mostly tell what will hurt you because in addition to flashing, even though you don't have the nice red color anymore, pretty much everything that's lethal still, sparks and glows white. So...
Well, that's more consideration given to this than the 3-1 ratio.
And naturally, my bat runs away from me literally right as we reach the secret exit.
And you can't ground pound without your bat?
No, because that's a buddy slam. You can't buddy slam without a buddy.
It only follows.
My buddies are just out of frame. They're laughing with me too.
But yeah, so that section is particularly dirty because the conveyor belt moves you to the left faster than the instant kill lasers are going. And there are multiple sections where, you have to stop and just kind of ride it. So you end up, getting pushed into it, whether you like it or not. So if you didn't wait long enough, you'll get pushed into the laser before you can get up and get out of the way.
By the way, I apologize about the low-flying airplane that's right outside my window.
I'm not hearing it, but sure, whatever.
There were some children outside at my end. I don't think anyone heard that.
Well, it'll show up in the audio unless I edit it out. I probably should.
Oh, they're purple death lasers.
Yes, now that we have restored the color to this world.
Now I feel like I was remembering some platformer where you had to restore color to the world.
Yeah, you are, in fact. That was De Blob.
Oh yeah, I never played that game.
On the Wii and PS3 and them.
Are you sure you're not thinking about The Void?
I think it was De Blob.
I mean, De Blob was a game that was literally about painting the world.
The Void was also a game about painting the world, sort of. There were consequences for doing so.
I'm sorry, the only artsy indie games I play are the weird Chinese stuff.
So that last coin is also really, really dirty, because if the laser hits the B before you get the coin, it counts as ending the level.
Seriously.
Yes. Like, I actually really like that, but it is a really dirty move.
Yeah, I'm fine with it myself.
So do you have to finish the level in order to get to the other side of the fence?
You have to finish the level normally to unlock the chase version, but once you do that, you can knock the bridge down and you can just leave. Anyway, this one is going to be equally exciting as we embrace the 90s.
Oh, good grief.
Wind tunnels.
Yeah, the wind doesn't blow you around, but it will blow everything else up to and including your platforms.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
Well, as we know, bats are incredibly dense.
Aren't they? I always thought they'd be kind of light myself, because they can fly around.
I was making a joke about how they're not being affected by the wind.
I have no sense of humor, sorry, Blast.
It's okay, Blast. I appreciated that.
Yeah, out here in Australia, we don't have humor.
That must be a really expensive import.
Sure, we can send a couple comedians your way. We have way too many of them.
Usually you just send, like, the washed-up political people, the alt-right people.
Well, we have a cage, but no TNT. How could we acquire some?
Huh, that answers that.
You know, I wouldn't really say at a glance that that green, whatever that was, would be affected by TNT. Like, unless you were actually told that that's how that works, like, it seemed a little odd.
You're really not, but if you leave the, but like, if you spit out the TNT thing itself, it will, like it almost like hatches and turns into like a chicken, but that walks around and then it explodes on things. I don't know how you're supposed to put it together that it destroys the cages, but I guess it has the same symbol. Good enough for me.
I was not fond of that windmill blocking off your view.
See, like, when Donkey Kong wanted to point out that things exploded, they usually just wrote TNT on the side. Like, I'm not saying that this game is like hard to understand. Like, it's fairly straightforward. Just
It's just polish. It's just missing that little bit of polish that a game like Donkey Kong does have.
You're kidding. That thing rolled over you while you were trying to pick up the thing that would actually let you hit it.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking terrible.
No kidding. Wait. These things only pop up when you're jumping on them?
The physics for the floaty platforms are interesting. I think it's less that they only go when you're on it, and more that, like, there is a general vicinity that they operate in. Like, as long as you are, like, they only move like that when you are within a certain distance of the platform.
I liked that. Spinning platform took that thing out.
Man, seeing all those notes go everywhere is like... It kind of makes me wince in a way, because it's just like, oh boy. On one hand, you're missing all the collectibles, on the other hand, it's sort of like throwing the collectibles away for you, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this game definitely has a... I don't know if I'd go so far as to call it a problem, but it definitely has some... It's an issue where a lot of the times it will try to give you a bunch of things in like that quill explosion, but the explosion will be over a pit at a point where like it is physically impossible for you to actually collect them.
Yeah.
Does this game have a variant of the roll jump where you can go over a pit for a short while you're rolling?
Yes. That, in fact, not only can you do... That is actually one of the tips that's in the help menu. Or on the loading screens.
All 5, what, capitalism coins?
They are called Twit coins, thank you very much.
What do they do again?
That's how we pay off Trouser to open up new levels.
Oh, you just got sniped out of the air, didn't you?
I did, I got owned by that cannon.
This game, well, this level at least, it does look a little bit rough. Like they didn't really hash out the wind thing quite as well as they should have.
The wind stuff seems okay to me. It's just that some of these spinning platforms can be a bit treacherous. Does that bee have an axe?
Sure does.
Well, it's Duncombe. Of course it has an axe.
I'll freely admit that I don't get half of these references.
Same.
Half of them are just outright, literally platonic developers. So... And then the rest of them are assorted flavors of reference. But hey, you know what? We're about maybe about a third of the way through the game. We've got let's take a stab at the Impossible Lair. Let's see what's waiting for us. Unfortunately, you still have to do this capital B fight at the start of every single run.
I'm sure that won't ever get old in a hurry.
Who's to say it hasn't gotten old already?
So yeah, now that we have some bees, we can actually make some progress in the Impossible Lair. You know, provided that I don't burn them all in this very first section.
Does that mean you could just get through the stage, like get through the game without any bees at all?
It is technically possible. I mean, at the any percent world record right now is something like 21 minutes, which, given the length of the Impossible Lair, is just outright going into the Impossible Lair immediately out of the tutorial and clearing it in one go.
Are you implying that the final dungeon in the game is 21 minutes long?
No, it's about 15 minutes long.
And you have to do it all from the beginning every time you attempt it?
Yes. And there are no checkpoints and no stopping points.
Uh-huh.
At least we get extra lives of some sort.
Yeah, your bees are your hit points, basically. I know that much.
But yeah, that weird Yooka-Laylee balloon we saw back there, that is used to mark the furthest point that you've gotten on this file. So, I mean, as you saw, we did not get very far out of the tutorial.
I do actually like this idea for a final dungeon. It means that they can throw out a whole bunch of cheap tricks and still like let the player advance.
I mean, I don't know if I like it as much from like the cheap trick angle, but I do like it a lot as sort of a kind of select your own difficulty kind of thing.
That spider having four eyes is freaking me out. I usually like spiders, but that one that's not okay.
Yeah, but it has 4 googly eyes, and that they count for twice as many eyes as regular eyes.
No, the googly eyes only make it worse.
Those were some hitboxes.
I'm not complaining.
I mean, I'm not either, but I do not believe that I deserve to make that one barrel.
So I know we got a little bit of time remaining. Do you actually make it through all the way?
Do you think that I would spoil the end of the LP right now?
You could.
I guess you're just gonna have to watch and find out, Blast.
I mean, the alternative is that when you actually do the final dungeon run, you might have to have a lot of stuff that you skip over.
I'm probably only gonna do this probably one more time before actually clearing it, so, you know, whatever. So yeah, there you go. That was the first section of the Impossible Lair.
That was something. It kind of reminded me of a ROM hack of...
So yeah, just tack on 3 more of those. And you're there.
I'd rather not.
There's just so many hazards flying around, it reminds me of a ROM hack.
Anyway, it's time for another round with capital B, and this one has a lot of K. Rool in it. I mean, his boss fight always has a lot of K. Rool in it, but like this one specifically, like, really reminds me of the K. Rool fight in DKC 2.
I mean, he's not wrong. I probably would have hated that.
Yeah, that definitely almost got... The only reason that did not get me when I was actually playing was because I was already on the left side of the screen. That absolutely would have fucked me up. But yeah, like, oh, that wave. That gives me some Captain K. Rool flashbacks.
Oh, though that was just dirty.
Thankfully, we are done with this fight. There are 2 more, 1 for each of the other sections, so that'll be something for everybody to look forward to.
Yay. Oh boy, ice physics.
Oh yeah. Although the way you actually do it's a little weird, like you have to kind of start moving and then duck. So like you kind of have to wait for him to get away, you do a roll to get some momentum, and then you just kind of hold down and then hope that you've got enough momentum to get you through that section.
What happens if you don't have enough momentum?
Then you get spikes.
Then you have to stand up and get hit by the spikes.
Imagine if capital B's lines were actually voiced. It'd be something, wouldn't it?
It would be something. I'm not entirely sure what, but...
He's not exactly what you call a very strong villain, no.
Well, you got like halfway through.
Halfway? No. The game will helpfully tell you exactly how far you were. We were 1/3 of the way done with the Impossible Lair.
Well, it's an improvement on the first attempt, which was, what, 6%?
I can't help but feel like that epic fail thing is going to really date this game in the next 5 years.
It's already dated.
Yeah, it's not a great... That's not the ending screen I would have gone with. Let's put it that way.
Like, wasn't Epic Fail a thing like 10 years ago?
Well, I mean, everything else about this game is a throwback to the 90s, so why not its failure screen?
That's rad.
Is it, though? Is it really?
No, it's absolutely not.
Anyway, we have lowered yet another paywall and unlocked the next set of levels, so we will see you for that next time.